Hello, my dear students. This is Mr. Shaymah Gharib and today's lesson about the circle. Let's start by some rules before you watch any video. You have to sit in a quiet place. You should have your pen and a piece of paper to take notes and to solve questions. You should pause the video after each question, then you try to answer on your own. Then you play the video to check your answer and to understand the question in case you get a wrong answer. Are you ready? Let's start our lesson. Parts of the circle. As you can see, this is the circle. Now let's know the parts of the circle. The first important part of the circle is the center. And the center of the circle is a point that lies exactly in the middle of the circle. Here it is. This is the center of the circle. So any circle has a center. And the center is a point. The second part of the circle is the circumference. And the circumference is the perimeter of the circle or the outline of the circle. The line of the circle here is called the circumference of the circle. And it's the same as the perimeter of the circle. Is this clear? Now let's see one more part. This is a very important part as well, which is the radius. The radius is the distance between the center of the circle and any point on the circumference. Here it is, the center of the circle. And if we connect the center of any point on the circumference of the circle, I will get the radius. So this line here is the radius. I can draw more than one radius in any circle. The plural of radius is radii. Is this clear? Now, the diameter. The diameter is another part of the circle and it's really important. It is the line that connects between any 2 points on the circumference and passes through the center. So it is a line, as you can see here. It connects between 2 points on the circumference and it must pass through the center. What else? The diameter is double the radius in length. So the length of the diameter is double the length of the radius. So if you look at the center, from this center to this point here, this small line is also a radius, and this line is also a radius, and this line is also a radius. So if you look at the diameter, you will find that the diameter consists of 2 radii, this part and this part. Is this clear? So the diameter is the double of the radius. We can say that the radius is half the diameter, which means the radius is half the diameter. Is this clear? Now, another part, which is the chord. The chord is the line that connects any 2 points on the circumference. For example, look at this line here. It connects 2 points on the circumference of the circle. This point and this point. Okay? So what do you think? What is the difference between the chord and the diameter? The diameter must pass through the center. I will ask a question. Can I say the diameter is a chord? What do you think? The diameter connects between 2 points on the circumference. Yes, I can say that the diameter is a chord. What about the chord? Can I say any chord could be diameter? Of course not. But any diameter could be called chord. We can say that the diameter is the longest chord in the circle. Is this clear, the difference between the chord and the diameter? Now, let's see how to draw a circle. Drawing a circle needs this compass. I think all of you know the compass. Sometimes it has a pencil part, not same as this one. So as you can see, the compass is the tool that we use to draw the circle. The distance between the compass arms is the radius of the circle. Any compass has two arms, as you can see. So the distance between the two arms here is the radius of the circle. The tip of the pencil, before you start to draw any circle, you have to make sure of this step, that the tip of the pencil must be aligned to the compass needle. How we can check this? We are going to bring the tip of the pencil and compass needle closer, such as this drawing here. This is the pencil part of the compass and this is the needle part. When you close the compass this way, the two tips must be aligned together. Okay? So once their tips have matched, the compass can be used to construct circles. So before we construct any circle, we have to close our compass and make sure that the two tips are aligned this way. After that, we place the compass needle at the center of the circle. So first, you have to identify the center of the circle, which is a point. Then we place the compass needle at the center of the circle. All you have to do is put the needle on the surface or the page on which the circle has to be drawn, fix it and rotate the other arm around while keeping the same angle on the hinge. Is this clear? So now, let's revise some tips. Just make sure the hinge at the top of the compass is tightened so that it does not slip. Don't apply any pressure to the pencil, but tighten the hold for the pencil, else the width of the circle will get changed. It should be taken care that the pencil lead is aligned with the compass's needle. All you have to do is put the needle on the surface page on which the circle has to be drawn, fix it and rotate the other arm around while keeping the same angle on the hinge. Now, questions time. Before we start questions time, I want all of you to start to sketch a circle and try to identify and label the parts of the circle on this drawing. Okay? Are you ready? Let's start. As you can see here, we have a drawing. And now let's see the questions. The first two questions here, how many radii could the circle have? Do you remember what the meaning of radii? It's the plural of the word radius. And we said it is the distance from the center to any point on the circumference. So how many radii I can draw or the circle could have? Any circle could have. Yes, it's an infinite number of radii. So any circle has an infinite number of radii or an endless number of radii. What about the diameters? How many diameters could the circle have? The same, an infinite number of diameters or an endless number of diameters. Is this clear? Now, look at this question. The diameter of the circle is what of the radius? The radius of the circle is what of the diameter? So the diameter of the circle is double of the radius. What about the radius of the circle is half of the diameter? at this question. If the radius of a circle is 3 centimeters, then the length of its diameter is, we said the diameter is double the radius. So the diameter will be, what do you think? 6 centimeters. What about the second question? If the diameter of a circle is 5 centimeters, then the length of its radius is, what do you think? We said the radius is half the diameter. So half 5 will be 2.5 centimeters. Is this clear? Now, look at this question here. Samia's bracelet is made with beads with a radius of 16 millimeters. If her bracelet measures 320 millimeters, how many beads are on it? As you can see, this is a drawing part of her bracelet. It contains beads that attached to each other this way, and all these beads in the shape of a circle, and each circle has a radius of 16 millimeters. So if the radius is 16 millimeters and I want to find the diameter of the bead, what do you think? We said the diameter will be double the radius, which is 6. This is the diameter. So it will be 16 times 2, which is 32 millimeters. So this distance, or the diameter of the bead, will be 32 millimeters, as you can see. Now I know the diameter of the bead, which is this distance here. So if I want to know how many beads are in this bracelet, we know that the total length of the bracelet is 320 millimeters. So I want to know how many 32, or how many diameters are in this bracelet, which means I'm going to divide the 320, which is the total length of the bracelet, divided by the 32, which is the length of the diameter, in order to get the number of the beads, which is 10 beads. Is this clear? Now, look at this diagram. Circle B is drawn inside circle A. So this is circle A and this is circle B. Circle B is inside circle A so that it touches circle A. As you can see, circle B touches circle A here at this point. And this is the center of circle B, and this is the center of the biggest circle, which is circle A. Okay? So now I have two circles and I have two centers. Is this clear so far? Now, what do you notice about the radii measurements of circle A and B and the distance between the two centers? So first, let's find the two radii of the two circles. This will be the radius of the big circle, which is circle A. What about the second radius? Here it is in red, and this is the radius of the small circle, which is circle B. Is this clear? So these are the two radii. Now, let's find the distance between the two centers. Here it is. This is the center, and this is the other center, and this is the distance between the two centers. Now, can you find a relation that connects these two radii with the distance between these two centers? Think about it. We can say that the distance between the two centers, this distance is equal what? If you know the length of the small radius and the length of the long radius, can you get this distance? For example, if this one, the small or the short radius is 4 centimeters. Let's write 4 centimeters. And the long one is 6 centimeters. Can you guess now the distance between the two centers? Yes, exactly. So the distance between the two centers will be, yes, the difference between the two radii. So the difference between the 6 and 4, for example, will be 2. So the distance between the two centers will be 2 centimeters. So we can say that, as a rule, the distance between the centers of two circles that touch inside is the same as the difference between the two radii. This is the end of our lesson today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any question, please feel free to leave a comment and I will answer you as soon as possible. See you next video, and please remember that your feedback is highly appreciated. Thank you very much and see you soon.